Well, hello everyone. I hope you guys are having a terrific Sunday. I am having a pretty good Sunday myself. It's good to be here tonight and to be able to share the evening with you guys. I hope that I hope you all are doing well. I see that Marty has already been here. Welcome, Marty. Glad to see you on here. I hope that you're having a good night, Marty. Good to see you. Well, I have been absent for about 2 weeks from doing my live streams. I've been kind of busy the last 2 weeks. I wanted to try to explain to you guys where I've been and what I've been doing, to kind of give you an update on what I've been doing. Um, I have been entertaining guests and also celebrating my birthday. For last weekend, the week before last on Sunday, I was I had my aunt visit. My aunt and my cousin visited from Florida in preparation for my brother's wedding, which was going to be on the 22nd of February. But they also came like a day or two early and were able to spend the day before my brother's birthday, the 21st, my brother's wedding, the 21st, which was my birthday. They were able to spend that with me. So um, I hosted them at the Airbnb that I'm going to be opening up very soon. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, or bath and a half, actually. And they stayed there while they were getting ready for the wedding. And also, we celebrated my birthday last, let's see, what day was the 21st? I think it was Friday. So they were here in Montgomery, and we visited and spent time together. And speaking of visiting, I have a little visitor here. He has to get up in my lap whenever he sees that I am on the live stream. So this is Tigger, and he has joined me tonight on my live stream. He has to be in my lap, and you probably will hear him purring sometime during the live stream tonight. So I hope you guys are doing well. Last weekend, I didn't do a live stream last weekend either. So that's 2 weeks without any live streams. So I do apologize for not having any live streams for such a long period of time, but I know you all understand, and I'm sure I am forgiven. Tigger has to get up in my lap, and he has to hang out with me because he's my little buddy. So, what are you guys doing tonight? Who all is online, and what are you all up to? I set up the live stream at my house so that my wife Carol could watch it on our TV at the house because she never has seen a live stream before. So, Carol, I hope you're enjoying the live stream so far. It has just started, but yeah, last weekend I allowed my brother to come on Monday. He came on Monday. My aunt and cousin left, and actually my son also came weekend before last. I'm a little bit off my game here tonight. Tigger's got me hugging him and petting him, and so I'm having to pay attention to him. But they left on Sunday. Actually, my son left on last Saturday, and my cousin and my aunt left on Monday morning. So they did stay last Sunday, or the Sunday before last. And so that's one reason why I wasn't doing a live stream 2 weeks ago. I see Dash is here. Good to see you on here, Dash. I hadn't seen you in a while. He said he's listening on eBay and listening to the rain and relaxing. Well, good. And William says, I am out of focus. Am I out of focus? Looks like it's in focus on my end. Is it out of focus on your end? Are you guys seeing out of focus, Sam? So, so last weekend, my brother and his new wife came on Monday evening. They spent the night and have been in Montgomery all the way up until yesterday morning. They left yesterday morning. That would be Will Smith, who is on here tonight, also known as William, also known as Butchie. That's who we call Butchie. So you guys let me know if I am out of focus. The only person that's telling me I'm out of focus right now is my brother William. So let me know if I'm out of focus. If it appears that I am out of focus, then I will try to do what I need to do. But I can see myself very clearly on the screen here. Yeah, it looks pretty clear to me. So William stayed at my Airbnb, him and his wife, and I set up a little home movie theater on Tuesday evening. I didn't set it up on Monday, but I came on Tuesday and set up a little home theater system for them and brought them two boxes of movies so that they would have plenty of movies to watch and be able to keep them entertained while they were here. One of the things that they did while they were here is they got lost. They got lost twice. I'm gonna pick on them just a little bit if I can. But they don't know Montgomery area very well, but they got out and did some exploring on their vehicle and they got lost. Not once, but twice. The first time they got lost, they called my wife, Carol, and asked her for directions to get back. And then the second time they got lost, they contacted me and asked me how to get back. So we were able to get them directed back to the house at least twice. So they got back and everything was good. So I'm going to share with you some of my finds from this weekend. I had a pretty good weekend as far as sourcing goes. I'm going to try to share some of my pictures of the stuff that I got this weekend. I picked up some vintage AM/FM radios from the 60s and the 50s, and some of them are even from the 40s. So that was probably the biggest find that I got this weekend. It was a last-minute advertised estate sale, and it was advertised on Facebook, and it just happened to pop up on my Facebook live on my Facebook notifications, and so I was able to go to that estate sale and pick up a few items. So I'm going to share some of the things that I picked up from that estate sale. So y'all bear with me. So this is one of the vintage radios that I got. I thought it was pretty cool. I haven't really spent a lot of time looking them up, but this is one of them. And let me see if I can just scroll to the next one. There's another picture of it. I'm not familiar with that brand of radio. It says Claricon, but I thought it was really neat. All five of these, there's 5 of these vintage radios. I picked them all up for $40, which was a steal, I thought. Let's see. Let me go the other direction. I hope you guys are able to see this. So these are just some of the pictures that I took of this radio. Here is another radio that I picked up at that same estate sale. This one, I don't see a brand. I think there was a brand maybe at some time up here on the top and it fell off, but I wasn't able to test this one to see if it works. The first one I did test and it does work, but I wasn't able to test this one. And then here is another one. This is a General Electric radio, and it lights up and makes a lot of noise, but it doesn't pick up any channels. Here's a closer picture of that face on that one. That's the model of that particular radio. It's a Model 400. And here is another General Electric radio with a clock on the front of it. So I thought these were all really neat finds from the weekend. All five of these radios were $40, and so that model is a 546, I believe. It's got a clock on the front of it and the dial, and you notice that it's missing one of the knobs in the front. So I'm going to see if I can source a knob to replace that one, but I may not be able to. This one did not work. It didn't make any sound or anything, so it probably needs new vacuum tubes. Now this one did work. It's called a Silver Tone, and this is a 1949. I actually looked that one up. It is a 1949 radio called a Silver Tone. And like I said, I got all of those radios for $40, so that was a pretty good deal. Welcome, Chuck. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well today. I released a video with Chuck when I was out in Quartzsite, Arizona. I did a van tour of his van, and I did a video with Chuck, and so I released that last week. So Chuck was able to be a part of my channel. So if you watched that, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure and give it a like and a thumbs up. This is a one of the vintage cases. What do you call it? Lunchbox. This is a vintage lunchbox from the 70s, and this is the Osmonds. And I picked this up for $25. I've got it listed for $45. I don't know if I'll get $45 because of the condition it's in, but I always list high because you can go down even when if you need to, but you can't go up. So this is the Osmond lunchbox, 1973. And then I say these are all the pictures that I took of it. And this is the other lunchbox that I got. It is a Gunsmoke lunchbox. Let me see if I can rotate it a little bit. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's not going to let me rotate it. But this is a Gunsmoke, so you just have to turn your head sideways so you can see the picture. And someone named Ray Cole, he might be related to you, Dash, on this lunchbox. There you can see on the top of it, you can see his name. Let me see if I can show that. There was a thing like a back in the day, you used to could make these letters on stickies and put them on stuff. But this is this is his name, Ray Cole, on the front of it. He wrote it. Someone wrote it with an indelible marker. Someone wrote his name with an indelible marker, so you can still see Roy, but the Cole you can't see too well. There it isn't, where you don't have to turn your head sideways. But that was a pretty cool looking lunchbox, and I looked this one up, and this one is actually a kind of rare lunchbox. I was able to pick this up again for $25. Both of these lunchboxes were $25 each. So I picked this lunchbox up for $25, and I listed this lunchbox for $145. And the sold comps actually were in that range. So I don't know if it'll be a quick seller, but I think I can sell it for somewhere in the $110 to $145 range. So that was a pretty good pickup there, those two lunch boxes. And I already had this Holly Hobby lunchbox here. So I went on a lunchbox listings spree today and listed all three of these lunch boxes. This Holly Hobby lunchbox was from 1979. The Western Gunsmoke lunchbox was from 1973. But this Holly Hobby was the least valuable out of the three lunch boxes that I listed. Chuck says, thanks for the video. You made me look good. Well, you made yourself look good, Chuck. And Butch says, good evening to Chuck. And he says, review the meal we cooked for you. Okay. So you want me to review the meal you cooked for me? Well, I think it was Thursday night, maybe Friday night. They invited me over to eat dinner with them at the Airbnb where they were staying. And so I went over there and they cooked rice and English peas and baked chicken and put barbecue sauce on it. So overall, it was a very good meal. I enjoyed it and didn't get sick or anything. So all was well. Let me see if I can find a couple of pictures from some other items I picked up this weekend. I found these. Let me see if I can back it up just a little bit. At one of the stores that I shop at pretty frequently, I found these vintage 1966 Peanuts characters. And so this is one of the Peanuts characters that I picked up. It's a Snoopy. And this one I got four characters all together. I paid $150 for all of them, so I kind of paid up. But and some of them were more valuable than others. This one was one of the more valuable ones. So if you if you find one of these, I recommend you pick it up. This one is valued at about $115. It is United Features Syndicate Incorporated, and it was 1966 is when it was made. And then I also picked up this little Lucy character for $5. This one wasn't really tremendously valuable. When I looked up the comps, it goes for about $15 or $20. So I got that one listed, and it is a little bit newer. So it's from 2002, made in China. So that one wasn't extremely valuable, but I did find some more Peanuts characters, which I'm going to show you here, that I got listed today. Got a Lucy, and these are called, let's see if I can remember what they're called. Pocket Pals. And they're from 1966. And I got this Lucy. She wasn't extremely valuable. She lists from anywhere between $35 and $45, so I listed it for $45. And then also Charlie Brown, and I didn't realize it at the time that I bought it, but his shirt has a big stain right here on the bottom. So I don't know if that will affect the value or not, but I listed the pair of them together for $65. So I'm going to sell them together as a pair. That's more pictures of the Lucy. And then it's stamped with the United Feature Syndicate 1966, made in Hong Kong. And there's Charlie Brown with his stained shirt. See the stain in the front? I made sure to get good pictures of the stain on the shirt. And it's also stained on the back. I'm thinking that possibly his pants did that to the shirt. Then the last figure that I had that I picked up at this shop was this Linus. Now, what is his name? Is it Linus? The one that plays the piano. I guess it is Linus. I'm not sure. But this was the last one I picked up. Chuck says he can't stay on tonight. He's got to go. Just wanted to stop and say hello. Be seeing you. Okay, we'll see you later, Chuck. Thanks for coming in tonight. Good to see you, my friend. And that's I want to say his name is Linus. Made by the same company. United Syndicate. Pocket dolls is what they're called. And they're made out of Hong Kong, made in Hong Kong, 1966. I also picked up this Pentax camera. And I got this camera at that estate sale where I picked up the antique radios. And this camera, I paid $10 for it. And when I looked up the comps on it, I was really shocked at how valuable these cameras actually are. These Pentax cameras go for pretty good money. So I've got this one listed for $155 or $165. Can't remember exactly, but this one is in pretty decent shape. It's working well. I picked up two of these cameras at the same place. And this one is a 28 millimeter 35 film camera. So I always make sure and take off the lens and take pictures of the lens individually when I list these. So that was my listings for today. And I didn't get this listed, but I wanted to share this with you too. Picked this up at that same estate sale. This is a Coca-Cola clock. I know Dash likes those Coca-Cola clocks, so I'm sure that you'll appreciate this one. It is electric. It's an electric clock. When I plugged it in, it does, the clock movement does actually work. And there's a light that goes in this area between the clock and the sign part of it, the signage. And the light lights up the sign. It also lights up the clock. But the bulb was blown, so I had to order some more bulbs to go in it. So I've ordered that on Amazon, and I'm also looking for one of these fuse things that go in the back of it, because when I got it, it didn't have that fuse in it. So I'm trying to figure out. Unfortunately, when I found other ones listed on eBay, the same clock, all I can see is from this angle. So I'm not sure exactly. I think it says 7 to 8 watt. And I don't see I see the last part of the name, but I can't read the whole name. So I'm not sure how to find the exact match to go in the clock. So I'm going to be looking for that. So who all do we have online tonight? I know we've got my brother William, and we did have Chuck, but I think he had to go. And we've got Dash from Dallas flipping on tonight. So I showed you some of the things I picked up. I'm going to give you an update on my store so you can see how my store has been doing since I've been back from Arizona. All right, so we got Badlands Bandit here tonight. Good to see you on here, Badlands Bandit. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And Dash is researching the clock. Thanks, Dash. I appreciate that. So if you can find that exact fuse or whatever it is, I would very much appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to share some information about my store in the last 31 days. So I've been back from Arizona for more than 31 days. I've been back about a month and a half now. So the last 31 days of sales has generated $4,312.26. So that's a little bit down from what I was doing before I went on my vacation to Arizona, but it's still a pretty decent number, so I'm happy with it. Badlands Bandit says he's doing well. Glad to hear that you're doing well, Badlands Bandit. So that's $4,312.26 with a selling cost of $1,450.10 and net sales of $2,597.03. So the quantity, the amount that I sold was 58 items. Total buyers was 57 buyers, so that means that one of the buyers bought more than one item. I do recall one buyer buying some parts of a vehicle that I was repairing, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in just a minute. The average sales price of items was $74.35. So you can see the chart, the sales chart is all over the place since January the 31st. So I'm going to back it up just a little bit and set the dates for when I came back. So I'm going to do a custom search on the dates. And it looks like I came back from Arizona. I can't believe it's March already. Looks like I came back from Arizona somewhere around the 25th. So I'm going to, yeah, it was the 25th. So I'm going to start this like on the 25th. And then we'll do today's date as the stopping point. So today is the 2nd of March. So we'll generate this report. And so since I have been back from the desert, I have done $4,562 in sales, $1,555.70 in selling cost, and the net sales, that's what the amount I took home, was $2,733.64 with 68 sellers, 68 quantity items sold, 65 buyers. And the average sales price per item was $69.14. So I'm going to share with you this chart to kind of give you an idea of where we were. So January 25th through the 31st, it said I had only $295.13 in sales. So as you can tell, my store was kind of dead when I came back. It had been on vacation for 3 weeks. So there were no listings, there were no sales. My store didn't even appear where people could buy things on the website. But Then it picked up a little bit from February 1st to February 7th. I had almost $1,000 in sales, and that's a week's time. I had $955.77 in sales, and there was $192 in shipping, and taxes and fees was $52.64. And so my item sales was $710.38. Then the next week, my sales were $880.10. That's February 8th through February 14th. So I'm still, averaging close to $1,000 a week. So that's not bad for this time of the year. Usually sales are a little bit slow during this time of year. So that's not bad. But there was $533 in item sales. Shipping and handling was $283.37, and taxes and fees was $63.07. Then the next week, which was February 15th through February 21st, which was my birthday, I actually had a better week. It went up over $1,000 in total sales to $1,029.01. The item sales, that's the actual amount that I made on the items that I sold, was $753.46. Shipping and handling was $211.96, and then taxes and fees was $63.59. So it looks like my store is coming back to life after the little hiatus that I had. So this last week, February 22nd through February 28th, this is the last week of February, sales were over $1,200. So I made $1,263.18, and the total item sales was $977.02, and shipping and handling was $204.85. Taxes was $81.31. So you can see that the store is starting to come back to life and starting to show the progress that it was showing before I went on my vacation. And so from March 1st to March 2nd, that's yesterday and today, that's when the next week started. So we only got 2 days to really show in that. I had $139.79 in sales, $102 in item sales, $35.25 in shipping and handling, and $1.74 in taxes. So I got your text, Dash, and I'll let me look at that. Let's see. Leviton 20 watt. How did you figure that out? That's pretty good. I appreciate that. Badlands Bandit says, okay, we already went on that. And Invisible River Ranch, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you on here tonight. Hope you're doing well out there in Arizona. I'm just kind of going over my eBay store and sharing the progress that I have made since I have come back, and the store is starting to show signs of life again, which is great because it really needed to. When I first came back for the first week, it was pretty dead. As you saw, it was only like $250 in sales, so that wasn't very good. That's kind of bleak for the way that my store was performing prior to. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that have sold recently. But before I do that, I told you that I had one buyer that bought 2 items. I wanted to talk a little bit about that and share that with you. There's an item that I listed. Let me see if I can find it. All right, here it is. last year when I was in Florida visiting with my aunt, we went to a flea market there in near her home in Orlando, Kissimmee area. And I picked up this truck, and this truck was missing a wheel. Let's see if I can. So this truck was missing the front wheel. So I went online to see if I could find a comparable or the same truck that I could pick up for next to nothing if possible, and replace the wheel. So I found this truck. Invisible River Ranch says all good. So that's great. I'm glad to hear that. So I found this truck. Okay, now you can see it a little bit better. And this is from the different angles. It's not in the best shape, but when I bought it at the flea market in Florida, I got it for like $5. So it wasn't very much. And it's an antique toy. So I figured I could make a little bit of money on it. When I first picked it up, I didn't realize it was missing the wheel. And so I ordered the truck wheel and replaced it. Now this is how I did it. Um, I ordered another truck. Let me see if I can go to my purchased items. Purchase history. I ordered another truck for parts, and this is the truck that I ordered here. You see this one is in pretty bad shape. So all I wanted really was to get the tire off of it. That's all I wanted, was that front driver's side wheel. So when I got it in, actually, yeah, this is the one I ordered. Okay, there was two. I ordered one before, but it wasn't in as good of condition as far as some of the pieces parts. So this is the one I ordered. You see, it's in pretty terrible condition. But again, all I wanted was the tire. So this is what I did. You guys let me know what you think of this. If you think it was a good strategy or if you think it was a bad strategy. So what I did was, let me back this thing up a little bit. All right, let me show you what I did. Instead of just scrapping the rest of the truck and throwing it in the garbage, we're going to save the landfill, right? So what I did was I parted out the pieces. You see, there's the body of the truck. That's parted out for $16.20. Now I only paid like $20 for the whole truck. And I've already sold two parts off of it, by the way. I'll show you that in just a second. This is the cab of the truck that's been disassembled. There's all kinds of people out there that are trying to put back together these vehicles, and they need pieces parts. So this was my strategy, was to disassemble the rest that I did not need and sell it for pieces parts. So that's the rear axle and bottom of the tanker chassis. Here's the other tire. You only needed one tire. So here's the other tire. I'm sure that there's somebody who would need this tire. See, I've got that listed, that single tire by itself listed for $22.50. And again, I still have these other pieces, parts that go with it. The front cab chassis and the front axle. So I've got that listed for $18 for the axle, $19.80 for the front chassis, $22.50 for the tire, $18 for the rear axle and bottom chassis, and $27 for the cab parts. And then for the tanker body is $16.20. Now let me show you what I've sold off of this since I have had it listed. This is the back bumper, and remember, I only paid $20 for the tanker, for the beat up one, the one that was in really bad shape. So I took this bumper off of it. Same guy bought both pieces. He bought this bumper for $13.50, and I had the screws with it too. And this front grill part of it, the front plastic grill of the tanker, sold for $16.20. So, you know, $13.50 and $16.20. Let's see, that's about $30 together. So I've already made money off of two parts, only two of the parts that I sold off of that replacement one that I used the wheel off of. So y'all tell me if y'all think that was a good idea. Is that a good strategy, or was I just spinning my wheels? So going back to that one I bought. So the one I bought, I paid $12.50 for it, and then also had to pay $20 in shipping. So I've got like $33 invested, and I've already got my money back, and I was able to put the wheel on the one that I have listed. So what do y'all think about that? Do you think it's a good idea? I see that Invisible River Ranch says nice strategy. We will make you a store manager. Okay, great. Very creative mechanically. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So anyway, that tanker's listed. I put the new wheel on it, and it's listed. And I don't think I even told you guys what I have that listed for. Let's see. Let's see what that's listed for. Now, keep in mind, I paid $5 for the one that was missing the wheel, and I have about 31 invested in the replacement parts. So I have it listed for $58.50. It was actually originally listed for $65, but I offer a 10% discount on all the items in my store. So yeah, that's listed for $58.50. and it's complete now. It's not missing a wheel. So I can ask a little bit more. And you see that mine is in a little bit better shape than some of the others. And that's the grill that I took off of the other one. The one that I bought had a better grill than the one I had. So I took that grill, put it on this one, and then sold the grill that was on this one. See, that's the rear bumper that I sold. That's what it looks like on the truck. So let's get to showing you some of the stuff that I have sold. Because I know that's what you're really interested in, is seeing what I've sold, right? Today I had one sale so far. I sold a men's watch for $31.49. It's a Nautica men's stainless steel silver blue dial chronograph watch. Really nice watch. I picked this up at a yard sale for $5. So I don't have very much money into it, but it's a decent watch. And the person messaged me a couple of times. I'll see it has may not be able to see, but it's got some scratches here on the face that I disclosed in the listing. But, it's not a real nice watch. It's just a, average Nautica. So I think that was a pretty good price that they got for that, of $31.49. And for some reason, my PlayStation 1 consoles are picking up in sales. I've sold 3 in the last week. So this is one of my PlayStation 1 bundles that I have. And Invisible River Ranch says the best part is that you're having fun doing it. Absolutely. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't a lot of fun. The most fun part of it is finding different creative ways to make money, and it really pays off in the end. But like I was saying, these PS1 video game bundles, they're just flying off the shelf for some reason. I think that there's some kind of drive right now going on with the PlayStation 1 consoles. People are really wanting to buy those. So I have sold 3 of these bundles in the last few weeks. And these things have been sitting on my shelves for, this one may have been sitting on my shelf for a year, because I haven't bought any of these to refurbish in a long time. I have several on my shelves that need to be refurbished, but I can't seem to get good replacement laser lenses for them. There seems to be a shortage of the laser lenses right now. But that one sold yesterday for $73.80. I sold this Undertaker action figure new in the pack. I think I paid like $1 for this at a yard sale, and it sold for $22.49, which was a pretty good sale. But yeah, that was World War II, WWE, World Wrestling Federation. That should have said WWF, shouldn't it? Wrestling Undertaker. So it does say WWE on the back of it, so that I don't know wrestling, so you can tell. But that's the Undertaker, and that was a pretty decent sale. Now I sold this Beat Production Center. It's some kind of musical beat maker that you hook up. And these normally sell new for about $250. This brand name is Akai, A-K-I, A-I, Akai. and it's for like a drum machine, and it sold for $139.50. I picked this up. I believe it was at the thrift store for like $10. And it didn't. It did work when I plugged it in. You can see I didn't plug it in. I used batteries, and you can see that the screen lights up, and it does work. And that was the extent that I was able to test this item. I don't know a whole lot about these drum machines, but I had sold this one earlier in the month of February, the first part of February, or maybe it was the last part of July. I mean, January. But it's missing the back battery cover. But the guy that bought it did not put batteries in it. The one that bought it before and sent it back, he returned it, said it didn't work. He was using the wrong kind of power cord with it. He said he had another power cord, and it obviously was not the right wattage or voltage or whatever is needed, because he couldn't get it to work. So he sent it back as unworking, but it sold again, so that worked out pretty good. And without spending a lot of time on this, I saw one of these Shopkins packs. It was new in the pack for $11.69. I bought this at the thrift store for a little over $1. So I don't have much into it, but turned $1 into $11.69. This was a pretty good sale here. This is a 3DS Midnight Purple gaming console that I picked up at a yard sale. Actually, I picked this up on an ask. This item, I paid $50 for it, and it came with a case, and it also came with the charger. It didn't come with the stylus. I had the stylus, but I thought I'd just put the stylus in with it to kind of sweeten the deal just a little bit. But it sold for $265, which was probably one of the biggest sales for the month. Invisible River Ranch says WWF was World Wildlife Federation won trademark suit, so they became WWE or whatever it is now. WWE. Yeah, WWE. So sold a pair of tennis shoes. I usually sell tennis shoes pretty regularly. I mean, they don't fly off the shelves, but I try to get the larger shoe sizes. They seem to sell better. This is a Nike Flyknit, or Nike. I don't know how you want to pronounce it, but Nike or Nike, however you want to pronounce it. Flyknit. They were in pretty good condition, and they sold for $31.49, which is a pretty good deal for the person that got it, because they got a decent, lightly worn pair of shoes for a very decent price. And again, here's another one of those Sony PlayStation 1 PS1 bundles that I've been selling. This one had the 3 games with it. I've already gotten positive feedback on this sale, but it sold for $78. So, like I said, those consoles, the PS1s, are flying off the shelves now. There seems to be a renewed interest in that. I sold one of these games that I picked up. These are games that I picked up at Jake's Flea Market when I was up in Pennsylvania visiting my friends, the Rat's Stash. Haven't seen them on here in a while. It would be nice to be able to see them again. Hopefully they can join us again in the near future. But when I was out there, I picked up like 4 Nintendo DS game consoles and about 80 of these games that were in boxes. They were very good condition, um, and got them all listed. It took me a little while to get them listed, but they've been paying off slowly but surely. I already made my money back. I think I paid 150 for the whole box, and I've already made my money back on the consoles that I've sold. So now all of these are just, all these games are just meat on the bone as far as I'm concerned. At that same flea market, Jake's Flea Market, I picked up this military uniform. If you see uniforms and it don't scare you to list them, then I encourage you to get them. This uniform, I paid $2 a uniform. I bought 6 uniforms, I think it was, at Jake's Flea Market when I was with Rat Stash. And this is an Army uniform. I listed it as a Cold War era officer's Class A uniform, and it has the 28th Infantry patch on the left sleeve. One way that you can tell if a uniform is during wartime or not is if it is a wartime uniform, and you can always tell if it's an officer's uniform by the stripe on the pants. But if it's a wartime uniform, you'll see a patch on the right sleeve. So that tells me that this is a Cold War era uniform, and whoever wore this uniform did not serve in wartime. So that's a little bit of trivia, a little bit of interesting knowledge if you think that's interesting to you. Let's see what Invisible River Ranch has written. He said he flew off his electric bike when the front wheel separated, landed on soft dirt. At least nothing broke. That's great. I'm glad nothing broke. I'm sorry that happened to you. I would like an electric bike. And you were sore for a few days. Last weekend got scammed out of 11 grand. How did that happen? You're going to have to tell us the rest of the story on that. Doing okay here still. Okay. Well, I want to hear your story about the getting scammed out of $11,000. So here is the third PlayStation 1 video game console bundle that has sold in the recent past. And this one has 3 games as well. And it's got a black controller with it. So that one sold for $73.80. So these things, like I said, there's just some kind of renewed interest in these games, and they're just flying off the shelves. I sold my last Stomper. I'm surprised it sold because somehow the word Stomper was not included in the title. Schaefer, the Schaefer is right, but this is a Stomper, and I don't know if you're familiar with Stompers or not. If you're a reseller, I would highly encourage you to become familiar with these Stompers because they are very valuable. This is a toy that was purchased in the 70s, and they have their little motors. They have a little motor, and let me show you a video and kind of give you an idea of what these things do. But apparently they are highly sought after. That's a toy. So the lights in the front are supposed to light up. I disclosed that in the listing, but this one I couldn't get the lights to work. I actually ordered an extra motor off of eBay and replaced, because this one, when I got it, was not working. So I replaced the motor on it, and so now it's working. It was working, and I sold it. I sold this Rawlings baseball glove. It's actually a first base mitt glove. I picked this up at the thrift store 2 weekends ago and listed. I bought it for $5 and listed it for $65. So I looked it up and it had pretty good sold comps, and it did pretty good. And this one was in really good condition. So I listed it for $65, and with the 10% off, it sold for $58.50, which was a very good turnaround on my money. $5 into $58 is pretty good, if I do say so. And I also sold another Nintendo NES bundle. So I used to try to sell these NES bundles with different games, but I have found that most people that are looking for NES bundles want this bundle, this particular bundle. They want the two controllers, they want the Zapper gun, and they want the Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers game. So I still have several of these bundles in my eBay store. They slowed down pretty big after Christmas as far as not selling too well. I still had several. I put together a bunch of bundles anticipating a bunch of sales during the Christmas holidays, because not last Christmas, but the Christmas before in 2023, I couldn't get these things out the door quick enough. They were selling that fast. So um, these are all refurbished. I go online um, and buy them and then refurbish them. And sometimes I do the retro bright process and make them white again or make them look new again and sell them. But let's see what Invisible River Ranch said about his accident, or his not his accident, but his scam. So he says Fidelity impersonator. I guess a Fidelity impersonator texted you. Someone changed the address on the account. Oh yeah, that's the oldest scam in the book. So I said yes, and they called him. Okay, and they apparently got the account information from Darknet or someplace they sell stolen stuff. Anyway, they did just like Fidelity does, except for stealing it. Added an account, then transferred it and changed back that fast. I'm still going. You can't stop me. Okay. Supposedly I will get something back, they say. So your bank is going to make it good. Is that what you're saying? Or are you still going to be out partial, or are you going to be able to get your money back, or at least a portion of it? That would be my question. So it's been a pretty good. I'm just going to kind of scroll over the rest of these items that I've sold, because we're over an hour already. But I've enjoyed sharing these things with you. I sold a CD for $9. Jimmy Cliff. I'm not familiar with Jimmy Cliff, but it sold for $9. I sold and that's one that we paid $2.50 for a box of about 100 CDs. So we've got pennies into that. So $9 is a fair price, and we feel like I've already made well over my money on that box. On this new Continental Accessories drive belt kit, this is a drive belt kit for a BMW. I think I picked this up at a yard sale for about $5, and it sold for $71.99. This Louisville Slugger. the buyer got it in the mail, and they said that the hand grip had to be redone. It had to be re-gripped because the black was coming off on her daughter's hands. So I had to give her concessions and gave her a $15 refund on that. So I ended up losing a little bit on that, but I think I took care of my customer, which is always the most important thing. The Chevy Girl pink and camouflage baseball hat sold for $22.49. It was brand new with tags. And this original Xbox console, this is still in February, with 3 games. It's an original console. It sold for $139.50 with 3 games, and it had a green translucent controller that I think that controller probably went with a special kind of Xbox, but I listed it with this and sold it. So $139.50, pretty good for that. I've got into the console and the cables, and Dash Dallas Flipping. He sold me his from as a child, but this is not the one that you sold me, Dash. I still have the one you sold me. I think I'm going to keep that one in a collection, if you're still with me. Sold the another alarm clock. Like I said, if you watch me on a regular basis, you see every time I come on here and show stuff that that I'm selling alarm clocks. I buy these for $5 or $2.50 at the thrift store, and that one sold for $32.40, which was a pretty good price. This is a globe that I've had in my inventory for a while. I bought this at a yard sale for $5. It sold for $50.40. There's another Xbox console. I can't keep these in stock. I get these in, I make my repairs, I get them listed, and they're usually gone within a week. It's amazing. So that's the second one there. See, there's number one. Whoops. Actually, there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3 consoles that sold within a week of the original Xbox. Those things are hot. People want those really bad. This is a flight simulator yoke and throttle system. I picked this up at a yard sale for $5, and it sold for $126. This vintage can opener, it's an under cabinet mount, brand new in the box, never been used. I picked this up at a yard sale for about $4, and it sold for $49.49. So I'm gonna stop here and get ready to end the live stream. Invisible River Rat says hopefully he'll get something back on that money. I'm sorry you lost $11,000. That's a lot of money. Got to be real careful for those scammers, because they will take you to the bank, or they will take out your bank. They'll remove all the money from your bank. So he says, never keep all your eggs in one place. Your sales are impressive. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's what I like about eBay is, it's fun to find these items out in the thrift stores or out at the yard sales, or even, looking around your house. You might find items that you just don't use anymore or need anymore, and you just decide to put them on eBay and sell them, make a little bit of money on them. And it's a lot of fun to do the research, to find out what they're worth, to take the pictures of them, and then to list them, and then to package them and send them out. So it's just a whole lot of fun. Um, I don't consider it a job, but some people don't make as much with a job as I make, just selling on eBay part time, just having fun with it. Of course, a lot of the profits do go to eBay, with the seller fees around 30%. But the way I look at it is, it's one of these pay to play things. If you want to sell on eBay, you really have to pay to play. If you were to have a brick and mortar store and you were selling things in a brick and mortar store, you would have expenses that are associated with that brick and mortar store. Like you would either have a rent or a mortgage on that building, you would have electric, you would have water, you would have gas, you would have internet, you would have cable. All those things would add up very quickly. And I would dare to say that most people who own a brick and mortar store are paying out more than 30% of their revenue in expenses, overhead, which would be and that's if you don't have any employees. But say you've got employees that you're also paying at an hourly wage, and you're not going to get away with paying people minimum wage these days because they're just not going to stay in those types of jobs. So, if you think about, that you've got all those expenses associated with running your business, and then you've got to pay employees, I would bet that most retail stores are closer to the 50% mark of their expenses on their business. So when I'm paying 30% to eBay, I don't get so upset about it because I feel like it's one of those things that you have to do. It's part of the cost of doing business. If you want to make money, if you want to sell things, you have to pay the price, and part of that is paying those fees. So 30%, well, some people think 30% is excessive. I feel like, if eBay is going to put my listings ahead of other people's listings and they're going to sell quicker, it's well worth 30%, because I'm marking these things up thousands of percent from what I purchased them in the beginning anyway. So, I mean, if they could get the items for the prices I paid for them, they would probably buy them as soon as I listed them. But then I wouldn't be making any money. So yeah, I feel like, eBay deserves a cut. I'm out there doing the hard work, but they have the platform. They have the millions and millions of customers, probably trillions of customers, that have access to see my listings that would not have otherwise. So I feel like it's well worth it. So that's my little spiel on paying those fees to eBay. A lot of people complain about it, and so I don't know if you heard the cha-ching just a little while ago, but I sold a Sony PlayStation 3 bundle, and it sold for $130. Nice sale. That just happened while I was on my live stream. And this is one of those PlayStation 3 Fats. People like these a lot better than the newer PlayStation 3s, but this is a PlayStation 3 Fat, and I had 3 games with it, and it sold for $130.50. So that was a pretty good sale there, just while I was talking to you guys. So yeah, it's very profitable. eBay does get their cut, but in my opinion, it's well worth it. Before I go, I wanted to ask you all, earlier in the live stream, my brother said that my picture was not clear. Is my image clear is the video that you're seeing clear? I guess you would have said something to me if it was. Um, yeah. So yeah, it could have been a lot more that you would have been out. Um, I hope that you can get your $11,000 back. I hope you get every penny of that back, and I hope that they can find the person that did that and bring them to justice. That's just not right, especially when you're on a fixed income to take advantage of somebody like that. Uh, it's exciting when they sell. Yes, it is very exciting when you hear that cha-ching. You got to build cost into the thing, exactly. Uh, Not too bad. Everyone has a handout, or it just sits there, selling fast. Live update. Sean Rogers, I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome to my live stream. Very grainy. May need to up your internet package. Okay, that's good. Good to know. So I wonder if let me hold my ring up there and see if you can see the detail in the ring. Well, I have a. Sean says it may be the hardware or your PC or to router. Um, well, I have a wireless router. Oh, Sean from Sexton. Good to see you on here, man. I didn't recognize your picture. Okay. Um, I may need to get faster internet speeds. Let me try something here. I have faster internet speeds on my cell phone. So I'm going to switch over my live stream to my cell phone internet uh, and see if that improves the image. I'm going to turn on my personal hotspot, and then I'm going to connect my computer to the personal hotspot and see if that makes, you know what? I've been on my personal hotspot the whole time. Okay, now I'm on my phone's internet. So tell me if it's clearer. Wi-Fi is usually slow. I prefer wire. Okay, I do speed test. All right, so now I'm connected to my hotspot on my phone, which has a faster speed. So tell me if it's clearer. Okay, Invisible River says it's clearer. So what I probably will be doing in the future then is I may start doing all of my live streams using my Wi-Fi from my phone. Look at this and see if this is clear. See if you can read the back. All right. So you may have noticed that I have a new hat. I got my hat. Let's see if I can show you the hat as a birthday present from my wife, Carol. It says Mayberry Sheriff on it. I wear a hat. I have a black hat that has a badge on it, and it says Mayberry on the top. So very, very clear. Okay, so it's very clear now, whereas before it was grainy. So I'm using my mobile hotspot on my phone currently. So that's good to know. So in the future, when I do my live streams, I will use my mobile hotspot. So I've been on here over an hour now. Fixed it for free. Yeah, I'll tell you something else about my mobile hotspot is much faster than what I'm using here. Um, I also use it now when I'm uploading videos to YouTube, because when I'm using my regular Wi-Fi here at the house, it can take anywhere from 2 or 3 hours for me to get my video uploaded. But when I use my mobile hotspot from my cell phone, the account from my cell phone is much faster apparently, and so I can get it uploaded in like 30 minutes. So it's much better now. Invisible River Ranch says if you had a wire, it would probably be faster too. Yeah, probably would. Um, I just don't want the wires all over the place. I have enough stuff that I trip over. Anyway, so yeah. Um, but anyway, I think I'm going to close it out for tonight. I appreciate you guys for joining me. And Sean, I don't know if this is the first time you've been on one of my live streams or not, but I have a live stream every Sunday night at 7:30. I try to have it every Sunday night at 7:30. One way you will know that I'm having a live stream is that there's always a thumbnail up in the morning on Sunday morning, letting you know that I'm going to have a live stream that evening at 7:30. If for some reason I don't have a live stream, I don't announce it, but you won't see my thumbnail showing that there will be a live stream. So anyway, thank you guys for coming tonight and for sharing this time with me. I have enjoyed chatting with you and sharing with you how my eBay store has been doing. It has really picked up a lot, and it's keeping me pretty busy too. I've got lot of other activities that I need to be doing. uh, so, as for example, we had a really bad storm come through here about 3 weeks ago, and we had some roof damage on two or three of our houses. So on tomorrow, I'm expecting a roofer to come out, and we're putting a new roof on one of my rental houses. So I'm trying to get things taken care of, and I'm busier now in retirement than I was when I was working. So it's I sometimes I wonder how I got everything done and worked 40 hours a week when I was working. But anyway, I stay extremely busy, and I've got one house that I'm going to be renovating this year, so that's going to be keeping me busy. And with eBay and YouTube and all the other stuff, traveling that I'm doing, I plan on making a trip in March, going back down to Florida. Going to hit the flea markets down there, visit with my aunt down there in Kissimmee again. We're going to go to the same flea markets that I went to last year. And so, yeah, it's a lot of fun, a lot of exciting things, interesting things that I'm doing in retirement. But it's all on my schedule, and that's what I like about it. It's still get that pension check that comes in every month and takes care of all the bills and then some. And so anything else that I get is just gravy. So I'm happy about that. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Appreciate you joining me tonight, and hope that you can join me next Sunday night at 7:30 for my live stream. Like I said, I have a live stream every Sunday, and it is usually from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. But I'm going to go ahead and close it out. You guys take care, and I'll see you again next week. I love you guys. Bye bye.